me, I have like four different apparatuses going on here. So, first and foremost, I want to say hello to everyone. Happy Friday. Wishing everyone an awesome weekend. As you can see, it's a casual day. First and foremost, my name is Fabiola. I'm a professional interpreter and entrepreneur. So, I apologize. Like I said, I have quite a few apparatuses here going on. But anyhow, I want to discuss a little bit more with regards to what happened this week. So what happened this week was, as we all know, we have our ups and downs, good days, bad days, and just a lot of things going on. So for the most part, my weeks are usually pretty good. I try planning my days, my weeks, my months in advance in order to be able to assist and help everyone with regards to starting your own interpreting career, as well as starting your own business, growing, launching, deciphering your business, etc. And I always like to share my day-to-day situations that occur as a freelance interpreter. As many of we have again our ups and downs, just like we do with our business, just like we do in our everyday life. So this week, for example, like I said, I don't really work with a lot of agencies because, as many of we have to. God, sometimes I feel like we have to jump through so many hoops. For one, trying to get the right assignments, trying to get the right information, trying to get the right rate of pay, the terms and conditions, and so on and so forth. So this week, for those of you that have not been following me, I came across this situation with an agency that I'm not going to disclose the name. And I've been working with them for quite some time. I want to say for about 5 years. And so every single time I take on an assignment, I make sure that I ask for, all the details, information, so that I can one, properly, I should say, provide them with the best service possible. Two, the rates. Three, the terms and conditions, etc. And one of the things that I found is that I know I get it. Agencies have their gatekeepers. Agencies have to make a profit. And sometimes agencies feel like by providing you with too much information, they feel like you're going to go turn around and take their clients away, which, some people do end up doing that, unfortunately. But one thing that I always tell the agencies, I consider myself pretty professional, and I want to provide the agency the best service possible, as well as our clients, because I feel that if I provide them with great service, they're going to continue to utilize my services. And therefore, it takes me away from, doing all the sales and marketing to get my own customers. Well, unbeknownst to me, this agency offered me an assignment. Most of you know that they usually send you an email saying, hey, we have this assignment available. Are you available? Blah, blah, blah. So they sent me the assignment offer, which I said, okay, I was available. But it was a red flag the minute that they said it was a meeting. And when they said it was a meeting, in the evening, typically you don't do meetings in the evening. Typically, you do either conferences, very rare depositions, or I should say mediations, arbitrations. I've done those in the evenings. So that was a red flag. So a day before the assignment, they confirm it. And I want to pause it real quick because I think I'm having some issues with my other streaming here. Let me see here. I apologize for that. So, anyways, they basically said, okay, we have this assignment, and we're confirming with you. And unbeknownst to me, when they confirmed, they said, oh, by the way, it's a simultaneous conference interpretation. Well, the rates that I had provided to them for this so-called meeting were way below the simultaneous conference rate. Then they indicated that they were going to be shipping the equipment directly to the client. So when I got to the assignment the following day, one, the client was, I guess, they were wondering why I wasn't prepared. And so obviously that put me in a situation where I was, I should say, a little bit upset that the agency lied to me. I was working way below the rate. I was not prepared with the material, but you know what? I made it work. As soon as I got there, I'm like, you know what? I apologize, but let's get started. I always carry my laptop with me. So they shared their PowerPoints presentations, so on and so forth. Bottom line, the assignment went great. Um, but had they sent somebody else without one simultaneous experience, two, the terminology, that assignment could have gone way worse. And what I mean by that is that the topics were environmental. And like I said before on my previous recordings, and I know I keep saying that for those of you that are not following me on Instagram and other platforms. So I was very successful. I made it through. And the following day, I had to take a breather. And so, get all these emotions out of the way, contacted the agency, voiced out my concerns. And I thought everything was great up until, again, they offered me another assignment, which was yesterday. Again, I show up. I had already told the client because they asked me if I was available. I said yes. And they were kind of upset, I guess, when they said, Fabiola, we spoke with you 2 days ago. You said you were available. And now the agency's telling me that you're not available. So, one, now, again, the agency made me a liar. They didn't provide me with the information that I needed. I was working way below the rates. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like working a lot with agencies. I'm very picky when it comes to selecting and working with certain agencies. And that is why I prefer to have my own clients. I prefer to do my own marketing outreach. I prefer to run my own business the way that I want to, meaning setting my own terms, my own rates, my own processes, my own procedures, because I know that when I get a client who needs my services, I know what to ask, I know what to get, I know what rate to provide, and I don't have to sit there and bug them for payments. I don't have to sit there and bug them for information because they already know what to provide me based on the information that I provided to them or that I'm asking of them. So it's so important for those of you that are just starting out as freelance interpreters. You have to know the ins and outs of the industry. You have to know what to ask. You have to know how to negotiate. You have to know how to set your terms and conditions in order to earn your worth. Now, on the other side, you have to also have some business experience, because if you don't know where to target, who to market to, what services to provide, what niche, how to promote your services online, how to do contracting, then you're always going to be on a standstill. You're always going to be, making what I call pennies on the dollar. And one thing that I always tell my students is that work is not going to come knocking at your door. Okay. You have to go out there and hustle. You have to go out there. And when I say out there, that means going online, doing your market research, knowing who to target, getting your list, creating your customer management system so that you can follow through with clients, creating your own database so that you can have those contacts on hand whenever you get a new client. Because I see this all the time, and I see that my connection is bad here, so I apologize for that. Um, So it's very important that you understand the ins and outs of the industry, the ins and outs of business, and that you know how to provide these services, and that you know who to market to, because at the end of the day, this is your business. You, even though you're a freelancer, this is your business. This is your baby, okay? And if you don't take care of it, and if you don't do what you need to do, you're never going to grow your business. You're always going to stand. You're always going to be at this standstill. And like Robin Castro said earlier on a video, it's true. I love his metaphor, the way he put it, that about soccer and football, which I thought was great. And I think a lot of, not only interpreters but entrepreneurs, they think that just because you launch this business or you put it online, that business is just going to come storming in. Well, I'm sorry, but it's not. And the other thing is that you have to, I can't stress it enough. If you don't know accounting, administration, online marketing, again, you're never going to know if whoever you're contracting is actually doing and providing the services that you want, and that they're providing them in accordance to your needs. Because as many of you know, this industry, interpreting and translation industry, it's, even though it's $1 billion industry, not many online marketers or social media marketers are aware of how we function, are aware of our target market, are aware of our keywords. And so it's important that you as a freelancer understands and knows what you're doing in order for you to promote your services in accordance. And again, I cannot stress it enough. If you don't know how to market yourself, if you don't know how to set your terms, if you don't know how to negotiate, if you don't know how to do your contracts, you are setting yourself for failure. And again, let me pause this for a minute. Like I said, I have all these apparatuses, all these connections. I'm going live on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. And so my connection is a little bit bad, so I apologize for that. But anyhow, hey, Robin, hello. So if any of you want to join in, please just, let me know with a thumbs up, and I'll bring you on board, and maybe we can discuss a little bit more and get your input. And I guess Angelo, somebody was on my Facebook and I lost them because of the connection. So I apologize. But so again, so for those of you that are starting out as an interpreter, it's very, very important that you understand and that you get all of these, dot your I's, cross your T's, so that you can be successful in the industry. Because, like I always tell my children, you can get a degree, but if you don't have the experience, the knowledge, and the qualifications, you getting a job after you graduate are slim to none. Okay, so it's so, so important that for those of you that are looking into becoming certified, you have to get the experience. Go out and volunteer. Go out and do some outreach and see where you can get trained. Sign up with some agencies. There's so many agencies out there, but be careful, okay? There's so many agencies out there that will take you under their wing. Of course, they're not going to pay you an arm and a leg, and they're not going to pay you, top dollar, but it's great experience for you to get your foot in the door to doing basic assignments. And when I mean basic, I mean like basic assignments, okay? I'm not talking about depositions, medical assignments, pre-ops, post-ops. I'm not talking about conferences. I want to make sure that you guys understand. And yes, please check out Robin Castro's latest video on Instagram. And yes, I did enjoy it, Robin. I did mention that earlier. So, with the situation that I had this week, it's been a little bit frustrating because of the fact that they didn't provide the information. Again, I was working way below the rate. the fact that now they're basically telling their client, oh, she's not available, even though I did tell the client and I committed and I penciled it in and I told the client, make sure that if you loved and enjoyed my services, that you let the agency know so that they can bring me back. And this was like, I made it very clear to the client, to the agency's client, that I was working under their contract and therefore they needed to deal with them. And they did the outreach to the client. I submitted my report to the agency, and now the agency's telling them, no, she's not available and she can't no longer help you. Why? Because the agency got upset because I called them out on, I just don't like to be put in those situations. For the past 19 years, I've never had an issue with any client as far as my performance, as far as providing excellent services, because I'm all about, 100% customer service, if not more. And when I'm being put in that situation, and had I not had the experience previously working with environmental terminology, my God, all of this could have gone south. And I just can't stress it enough. And now, with the simple fact that now they're saying, oh, well, she's not available, she can't do it, even though I did tell their client that, yes, I was, and I did tell the agency that I was available. So therefore, today, after my husband got back from work, I sat down with him. I kind of let my frustration out on him. And so I asked him for some advice, because yes, I do need advice from time to time, and it's helpful to hear other people's opinion. And so, like I told him, I explained the situation, and he said, you know what, just go back to the drawing board. You're very good about going back to the basics, in which I am. And the basics is that I'm no longer going to be working with agencies unless, one, they pay the 50% upfront, two, they provide me with the information that I need, and that they actually sign my terms and conditions, and that they agree on how I work and what I provide and how we're going to be, having this mutual agreement. And three, I went ahead and did some, marketing outreach, because again, I love interpreting, and that is my niche. I love interpreting. And yes, I want to say 60% of my business is training interpreters and entrepreneurs, and the other 40% is still providing on-site interpretation. So I went ahead and marketed my services, and long and behold, I got a couple of other contracts today. So I'm so happy, and I know I can do this, but sometimes I think we get a little lazy and we don't want to do the work, and that's where I go back to some of the new interpreters that want to start out and they want to start their own business, but when I talk to them, they really don't want to do the work. They either, one, they don't want to do the work, either two, they can't afford this, to invest in themselves, which is understandable. But I always tell everyone, be upfront, be honest, and maybe there's something else that I can do to help you. At the end of the day, this is a win-win situation. If I help you, you're going to help me, and vice versa. And so we want to provide the best services possible out there, because let's get real, in this industry, we have good and bad and great interpreters. And that's why I want to, invite you, those of you that are on Instagram, make sure that you join our Hot Sauce Interpreters, created by Mr. Robin Castro and Mike the Interpreter, Hot Sauce Interpreters. If you are not on Instagram, make sure that you join Instagram and then send us a DM, and we'll make sure that we include you onto the group, because it's important that we continue to provide the services, to help each other, to provide the best services possible. And it's not so much to serve us, the agency, but it's to serve the LEP, the person that is unable to communicate in their own language. Our goal is to be their voice. Our goal is to provide the best services possible that we can to that LEP. And the only way we're going to do that is by continuing to train ourselves, by continuing to do the outreach, continuing to be involved, continuing to find resources and places to go to get self-trained. If you are unable to invest in online material, online trainings, there's so many free online resources out there that are going to be beneficial, not only for you as an interpreter, but also as an entrepreneur. Now, touching onto the entrepreneur side of it. Okay. In business, you got to learn just like as an interpreter. I am going to repeat this again because many of you don't know. You have to know how to do sales and marketing, administration, accounting, and there's so many other areas that you need to learn in order for you to be able to bill for your services, market your services, provide excellent services, um, to be able to do what you love. And, you know, as reading some of these comments, it's like why people join, I have no idea. But anyways, um, let me see. I guess let me see here. So again, okay. So anyways, oh, what happened? Okay, something happened here. Anyhow, so for those of you that want to start out, that are looking to start their business, make sure that you please visit my online social media platforms so that you can get your freebies, your information, so that you can start marketing your services. And give me 1 second. This Cody Shane Diggins is obviously on here. Have no idea who the heck he is, but obviously he's upset. But anyways, um, thank you guys for joining me. Those of you hot sauce interpreters that are joining in, for those of you that are following me on Facebook, on YouTube, thank you. Again, I invite you to please check out all of the freebies, download your checklist, check out the videos. And if there's anything that you need help with, anything that I have not shared with, make sure that you send me a DM and send me some information so that I can help you out. Back to the whole thing with the business on Instagram. I know that there was a video earlier today with regards to, the DMs and the PMs. There's a lot of automations out there, but I think it's important in order for us to be able to connect with all of these, with you, the listeners. It's it's important for us. Thank you, Maria. I'm trying to block him and I can't, so I'll make sure that I block him, and I've already reported him, Maria. But anyhow, make sure that if you want to connect, if you want to gain followers, if you want to grow your fan base, don't do the automatic DMs and PMs, because for the most part, I think it's a little annoying. I think I shared on some of my stories earlier this week where people are trying to connect with you in not a professional manner, I should say. And so I reported them to Instagram. So make sure that if you have people just like this person here, make this Cody Shen whatever Shane Diggins, make sure you report them to Facebook. Make sure you report them to Instagram. We don't need these childish people here on the social media platforms. These are we are professional business owners that we are trying to promote our services, trying to help people start and grow their business. And therefore, when we have all of these DMs and PMs from obnoxious people, it puts a sour taste in your mouth. And so, anyhow, I just want to make sure that those of you that joined in earlier today, that you guys got all the information that you needed in order for you to be able to start, grow, and decipher your business. So stay tuned for more. I will go ahead and continue to do some live streams next week. And for those of you with hot sauce interpreters, if you want to join in, just go ahead and let me know your dates and times that you're available so that we can go ahead and join in. Those of you on my Interpreter Cafe and Entrepreneur Cafe group on Facebook, make sure that you also send me a PM. Let me know when you're available, and we can go ahead and do a live stream and touch on some topics with regards to starting, growing, and deciphering your business. Have an awesome weekend, and let's get ready to rock and roll.